Dr. Stefane Dias. Whoa, thank you, Zoom, for making this work. How's it going? How's everything? Thank you so much, guys, to be with us. It's a pleasure to have here Dr. Stefane Dias as a personal friend. It's like a family for us here. And then I'm super happy to have you with us.
Yes, Anna, my pleasure to be here in American Top Team Fort Lauderdale. It was a great place. I've been there many times. Master Junior, Anna, they're great people. I know them for a long time, since 2008, when I first joined ATT. And their son, Joe Jones, like a phenom. The kid is like great future of the sport. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Stephanie, we sent an email for us clients and ask some questions. You know, it's we have a lot of things to go over with you. Also, because you know, who knows Stephanie knows he's not just a condition coach. Also, now he's a teacher, you know, in the college, and you know, he have a lot of information to give it to us. Né? Stephanie, you want to introduce yourself a little bit first for people who don't know you and is enjoy the life with us right now?
Yes. So I'm from Brazil, Stefane Dias, from Curitiba, and I started very young doing sports. I did a variety of sports, from swimming to soccer, really bad, not really traditional soccer player, and then martial arts. And then I was very aggressive all my life, but then martial arts actually made me humble, made me cool. And then I started training with 12 years old with Master Noguchi, that trained Anderson Silva. So Master Catel, that's the head coach, striking coach for ATT, my friend, and Macarrão. So I trained many years Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai first, almost close to the black belt. And then 1998, I started switching to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with my friend Everton. That's now the head strength and conditioning coach of ATT. He invited me, and then we trained Jiu-Jitsu until we got black belt, and for years we've been doing this. 2002, I graduated from my bachelor's. I went to Russia. I lived there a couple of years. I did my master's degree. Then I got back to Brazil, started working with some athletes. I helped the Brazilian champion in pro box, Edson Forma. I helped several champions, Fernandinho, Vieira, Marcelo, Brito. And then I finished my PhD in 2015. So 2008, I started working at American Top Team until 2015, when I finished my PhD. Then I got an offer to work at Keiser University in the Orlando campus, that what I am right now.
It's a big change, you know, and that's, you think that's make you very complete, you know, than within the sports right now, you know. You give a lot of information for everybody. Stephanie, we have some questions for you. I don't know if you wanna, before the questions, explain at this hard moment. I said we're not gonna talk about this, but it's super hard to not talking about this, you know. Everybody who knows me, I love to be with contact with people, you know. For me, it's not just about to be inside the house, but the hard time for me, it's be with, not be around with the people, especially the people we love, you know. Us school right now, we have almost 300 members, and kind of I know a little bit everyone in different way, and it's every day there, you know. We live us dream, me and Junior, to be with, do what we love to do, you know. And I was super thankful for God before anything, to give this opportunity to do what I love to do, you know, be around. And we so looked and have a lot of good people, you know. And I know how everybody's been text us in Master Junior, or about the business, or about it, like, you know, how long this is gonna take. And his answer nobody can have right now at this moment. Nobody knows, you know. I kind of suggest everybody live one day by day, and believe in God, be strong, mental and physical, né? Then that's the reason I bring you here, you know. And then I know everything in the life pass. It's just a moment, you know. Then we need to be stronger for do all these things right now, you know. Then I don't know if you want to mention your opinion about what's going on right now in the world before we go over the questions.
Yes, yes. I did a little search here, of course, everybody's worried. And then I pulled some several articles about it. And one that talks about the corona. So people that don't know, the corona got their name because of the protein like a crown. So crown, so that's why corona means in Latin. So corona is a crown in Latin. So that's the name, the original of the name. And then there's like usually main subgroups, and then alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. There's four subgroups of coronavirus. The corona, people think it's new, but in the reality, it started in 1960s, mid 1960s. Yes. So I pulled this nice article here, published weeks ago, and then they found out that it was 1960s, and then there's 7 types of human coronavirus.
It's nice to mention, Stefan, sorry to bother, but when we finish, because I know a lot of people right now, it is working and cannot watch us. I have a lot of people asking us to save, and I will post in the YouTube. And later in this video, when he's talking about the actor he's reading, I will have the link on for you guys can search and reading more. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll give you the article so you can read the whole article. It's pretty long, but good. So then we have here, so we have 7 types of human coronavirus, and then 4 are not so strong, and then 3 are severe. And then one is the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, one severe acute respiratory syndrome, and then the novel, the 2019 COV, that was the one that's from Wuhan, China. So that's the one that we're dealing right now. So just to break some of the myths, because a lot of people think, oh, this is something that just created or something. No, this is something like since 1960. And then they have the animal version of the coronavirus and the human version. It's very important to tell the people that, because there's some videos going on the internet, people are trying to use the vaccine for animals in humans, thinking that's the same thing. No, it's a different type of virus. So it's the same name, but it's a little bit of variation. So don't do that. Okay, just stay chill and then wait for a little bit. Some stuff that's kind of like it's worth to mention. It's why people are taking seriously and avoiding the content, because according to the World Health Organization, for every person that gets sick, you can infect about 1.5 to 2.5 people. So that's an area of concern. So now we need to be really worried about it, because for every person you can contaminate another 1.5 to 2.5 people, and then spreads very, very fast. So of course, people already mentioned this a lot, but doesn't hurt to say. Keeping like washing your hands, alcohol-based hand sanitizer also help. Avoiding touching your eyes, nose, mouth. Cleaning disinfects object regularly. Avoid close contacts with people that are sick, obviously. And then stay home. So now pretty much everybody's going to stay home. Are you guys in lockdown there?
Yes, pretty much we have the school closed for a week now. And then we allowed to go out to supermarkets, buy any supplies you need, anything. That's how we right now.
Yeah, so here in Orlando started today, so actually last night. So we're not supposed to go out until if you don't have something like legit, like going to the grocery stores or a job that requires you to go like a hospital or something like this. So we're working online. University, I've been working online, already finished my whole hours for the week. So I'm here with you guys. Now, another thing important, the corona, make sure you don't have stuffy nose, runny nose, headaches, cough, sore throat, fever. So if you have one of those symptoms or more, make sure you go and then seek for attendance for physician to make sure you do not have that, because the problem is sometimes people have some of those symptoms, but they're mild, and they don't treat, and then they start spreading to other people. And then, of course, people that are more susceptible to the disease, they end up getting sick.
Yeah, and then I think that's a good point. Yesterday I saw a video, the guy in your YouTube channel post him, I just left the hospital, I got a positive for corona, but I don't feel nothing, you know. Then I'm here in Walmart buying supermarket. This is super sad. That's not the time to be selfish. Come on, you know. Maybe you don't feel nothing, but that's mean you're gonna. How many people's got a contamination in Walmart? Then try to be safe at the time, you know. Then it's not time to be selfish, please, you know.
Yes, and then one last thing about the corona that I want to mention, and I got this from the Fox News yesterday. So everybody wants in my Facebook page, I can share it with Anna. This long article is talking about Amazon, because what happened now with all those problems, people are buying the stuff from online sources.
Yeah.
And then there's an area of concern. Why? Because the coronavirus, this is according to the researchers here, he can stay alive in the cardboard. Anytime you touch a cardboard for 24 hours. And then it can stay alive for 3 days in plastic or stainless steel. Wow. So every time, yes. So, and then that's what the concern. So it's very important, this article. I can share with you guys. It's from the news, from the Fox News. And then they were concerned. Why? Because there were six.
Home. We're not staying home.
Six.
You can buy something, no?
Not even at home. Yes, there are 6 Amazon warehouses that got people contaminated. 19 employees, according to the news. And then they said, so they're really worried. Why? Because everybody's ordering online, and then the thing is jammed. So they need to go too fast. So if they cough or sneeze, they don't have time to go wash their hands, and then they pack in your stuff. So that means you can get delivered. This thing in the cardboard can stay 1 day. Now Amazon Prime delivery like sometimes in the same day. And then for the metal or plastic, it can stay 3 days, or stainless steel. So what I'm doing, like even after reading I got my stuff from Amazon, and then I got like a gloves. And then I put it in the garage. So live in the garage for a couple of days, like 2-3 days. And then most likely you should be fine. Yes, this is another thing.
That's a good idea. Pour the garage with the gloves, throw the gloves off, and then wait, you know, the time they need to be. That's such a good idea, because, you know, it's very good information about that. I even don't know about it. Just going on with the, you know.
I saw this yesterday. Everybody like, wow, I share. So it's on the news. So it's legit. So make sure you read it. Okay. Good job. So let's go to the questions.
Okay, let's go to the question. Let me see if I can do the share my screen, and we can have Matt with the question for us. Let me see if I can get him right now, because it's Matt, you know, is the brown belt for us, and he loves you, and he's like, okay, let me give the question for you. Let me see if I can.
I saw the question. Very good.
Okay. You have the video with you. Let me see if I can pull here from my phone. Let's see if it's gonna work.
Professor Diaz, what's up here, buddy? Matt Modest from American Team Fort Lauderdale. Thank you for all the help you're giving Anna and Junior with the school, and putting all this great content out for all the students while we're in quarantine. Really appreciate everything you're doing for us. A couple of quick questions for you. I was wondering if you could maybe offer a couple of good exercises that pertain to jiu-jitsu training that you could do by yourself at home. That would be really helpful for those of us that can't get in the gym and train right now. And then also on top of that, you know, right now dieting and nutrition is a little bit difficult because you can only get certain stuff from the stores, and the crowds are really busy. What are good foods to eat and really try to focus on for meal planning to make sure that you keep your weight ready for when we can get back in the gym? Appreciate all your help. Thank you so much. And everybody out there, stay safe. Bye-bye.
Oh, Matt. Okay, basically have 3 questions in one. Let's see. Thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah, Matt, very good. Anna showed me the video before, and then we're going to talk about this. So this is the reality. The ideas I'm going to give you guys here, you can use now, of course, and then even after this, you can keep some of these ideas. It will help you. So first, talking about nutrition, I think that's very important. And then I also teach the upper level nutrition at Keiser University. So I've been like involved, and then all those years working with high level athletes, we need to know how to help them get in their shape, losing body fat, and etc. So one idea that's the starting here. So of course, we're like, even I asked my wife to go to the grocery stores, and then whatever's left that you need to get, because people are like panicking, so they're buying everything. So you don't have too much variety. But what you should do is try to get whole wheat. So for example, if you like rice, for example, in Brazil, we eat a lot of rice. So try to get brown rice.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like bread, for example, then you need to get whole wheat bread. If you like pasta, try to go whole wheat pasta. So the whole first part is going for whole wheat, because when you go for whole wheat, most likely it's going to be a carb that is not going to be converted too fast in glucose, and then there's a less chance to become fat because of the less spike in the insulin. So it's going to create a less effect on that. So try to get foods with carbs, good quality carbs. And then people sometimes they talk a lot, and then no, but carbs is the bad guy. But in the reality, no, we need carbs. Carbs is the energy source for our brain. So in order for you to function properly, to think properly, you need some sort of amount of carbs, and then the glucose will feed your brain. So make sure you get quality. If you have the chance to get fruits, tangerines are very good. Bananas, I'll talk that in a little bit. Strawberries are very good. Why I'm giving the emphasis on tangerine and strawberries? Because the content on vitamin C. So we got to remember, vitamin C is also important. So now with all the situation, and then if you look, and then we're going to talk in a little bit, when we talk about getting sick, who's the people that are getting sick easier? The people that have immune system deficiency, either the older adults or people that were sick or not really recovered. So now, if you are proper nutrition, so let's say if you have a deficiency in vitamin C, that could lead you to getting easier to get sick. So good sources will be strawberries, tangerines, orange. And then very important here is to people to remember that when you get the fruit, you gotta eat the whole fruit, not the juice of the fruit. Okay,
because that's different. Like say if I got the orange and I put the orange for my kids, it's not the same if I cut and they eat the orange. It's not the same.
Yes, it's not the same. No. Why? Because when you blend it, you break down all the fiber content that has in the fruit, and then what's gonna happen? You're gonna digest that easier. So then becomes very similar to a simple sugar. So almost close to the simple sugar. So that means, especially if you're home, and then I assume you want to maintain your body weight, people from jiu-jitsu community or anybody that's kind of like exercise. So instead of having the juice of the particular fruit, you want to eat the fruit. Yes. So especially those fruits that have a lot higher fiber content, like strawberry is good, apple very good. Yeah, apple is one of the if you eat the whole apple, have one of the lowest glycemic index. So the chance to be converted in glucose and then from you getting fat from it's very, very minimal compared to taking the juice, the apple juice. Okay. So go from there. But in this case, why I say tangerines, oranges, strawberries, because of the vitamin C. So very important in this case.
Então, you say eating the rice, try to eat brown, just to remember, the fruits, try to eat the fruits, not making juice, then I think that's the good points about the food when you're eating from home right now, And about the night, what do you recommend to have on the night before the bed?
Wait. And then another thing, this is only carbs. And then we have good sources of, remember, every time you make a meal, you don't want to eat in isolation. So people have this idea, I'm going to eat just carbs today, then just protein or maybe just fat. No, is always make a meal when you combine. So the best for you, especially if you exercise, it's a combination of carbs, protein, and fat. So how you get that? Carbs, I just gave some examples. And then from quality fat, you can have nuts, you can have avocado. So there's some good quality fats. Plus protein you need to get from lean sources. So in this case, available and cheap will be chicken, you know. So just get your grilled chicken, boiled chicken, just be creative about it.
You like the fish. George just have a fish now. He just fished a fresh fish for the ocean today. And it's a beautiful one. I say, Junior, don't worry, we have the lunch. And it's like, I get another one. I'm like, oh my, and it's just, and he put in the water. And it's like, Mommy, that's the lunch today, you know?
Yes, and then of course, if you eat fish, especially like straight out of the ocean, that's the best. One thing I don't like too much about fish in the United States is because there's a lot of farm fish. So it's not the same as you get what we call wild fish. That's from the nature. So if you have the ability to actually fish, that's great. So,
no, yeah, it's the ocean. We live in the ocean.
Yeah, so that's great. Very fresh. So of course, fish, and then remember, but then sometimes people, yes, I like fish, but then I fried my fish. And then, okay, you do have a protein, but now you're going to add extra calories and fat on that. So make sure you go for grill. You know, that will be kind of like the best option. Or even shrimp. You can put in the oven, and then very good. I used to eat a lot of shrimp in Russia because the meat over there was very expensive because of the grass, because everything is snow all the time. So then shrimp is a good quality. Shrimp, tuna. So those are good sources of protein.
And about the picanha, Stephanie. How many times
picanha is the favorite.
It's important to know, especially right now, if you want to have a picanha every day, but I know I have to be healthy, but what you recommend for the steak? How many times, say, between Sunday to Sunday, how many times I can have?
Yeah, guys, we need to be smart here. As a Brazilian, I love picanha, of course. I love steak. And I make great for barbecues. It's just very good at it. And then the problem is usually the red meat, why it tastes so good? Because of the fat content. So usually there's more fat in the red meat, and then especially like kind of picanha or New York steak or T-bone steak. So they have more fat content and a little bit higher content in saturated fat. So you want to limit those amounts. So ideas will be here, of course, in the situation that we don't know for how long we're going to stay, but no more than twice a week. So
twice a week. Twice a week, okay. And then
twice a week red meat. Twice a week red meat. Try to go, let's say, three meals chicken, three days chicken. And then the rest going for fish, so then you have a combination. 1-2 days fish, 2 days red meat, and then chicken. And not only that, the one good thing about having a nutritional program is you don't get saturated, because sometimes, and then I work with fighters for years, and then athletes, and then UFC athletes, and then sometimes they get in the diet and then they go like 3 months just eating like plain chicken, and the last week not even salt, anything. And then what happens? As soon after their competition, they're saturated, they can't see that. And then I don't want that to happen to you guys. So put a variety, okay? Get lean sources, like I said, tuna, shrimp, get a grilled chicken. You can have turkey, you can have eggs, very good for breakfast. So Matt, for you, for the breakfast, you can have also very, very good quality of carbs to mix. It's to have an oatmeal. So you can have oatmeal and then have maybe egg white, or just create it like an omelette with a little bit of cheese, maybe a Swiss cheese or reduced fat cheese. And then you have like a good combination, and have like one orange or a couple strawberries. So then you have a combination of carbs, protein, and fat. So then you have a very nice meal.
combination, yeah. And then the salad, because you know that's a lot of problem.
Salad,
I
yes.
talk with my kids about that, but I try to do it, and I don't know. I want to ask you for you if that's right or not. When they have the picanha, I try to avoid the rice and all these things. I always give with the salad, you know. And then I don't know if it's a good combination, because they really like it to have a lot of salad with the steak, you know.
Yes, salad and vegetables. Most important to have salad and add some vegetables, because then you have good quality of carbs, because the vegetables, they also carbs and then plus fiber. So every time you have, why I'm giving you that, that's why they call complex carbs. The complex carbs, the whole wheat, the vegetables, the fruit, they with the fiber content, they make you feel full. So especially when you're in the house now, like me, I'm working from the computer. I'm not used, because I used to stay in the university all day. So now you have access to food, and then you try to eat because you're in the house. So if you add your fiber content, that means you're going to eat less. So you're not going to be as hungry. And then also from the protein. So a mix is a good combination, a steak with salad. But for the kids, especially for the kids, we're going to get that later. There's another question about kids specifically. But carbs is important too.
Yeah, and also we can go over. This is the first one. Maybe we can have another one. I just want to mention, thank you, Jesse, for all you give a message for us here. Appreciate it. I hope you share this in Ohio. You know, I know Ohio, it's not the way we are right now in Florida. And for sure, the reason I have Dr. Stefane here is because I know he knows a lot, and it's a lot of information for one life. Then I just want to move forward right now and answer the other questions, you know. But
I have one more for Matt.
Ah, okay, go.
Yeah, Matt asked about exercises, okay?
Okay.
So Matt, I'm going to link to several other questions because they talk about exercise. So I'm going to give you some ideas here, okay? So just for him to know, we're going to answer.
We forgot his answer. Perfect. Yeah. The another one I have here, Dr. Stefane Dias, is about a fighter. He's already amateur fighter right now. He have 3-0, you know, and he asking, because that's the thing he already trained wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, MMA, all the classes here. But because you know, and you did a lot of condition with the top levels guys, you know, fighters in the world, he want to know what's in your head, how many times a week the condition class should do, and how many hours, you know, per week.
Okay, is he live right now?
No, he's not. No, he said the question.
He said the question. All right. Because if you have an idea about his age, do you have an idea about his age?
Yeah, he's 23.
23, very good, young. So that's good. Why I ask? Because you need to understand, if I talk somebody that has 16, have one requirement. Somebody has a 20s, a different requirement. Somebody in the 40s, different requirement. So every time before, and then this is very important because I do sometimes lives. We have several students from Russia, and then all those YouTubers, specialists, blah, blah, blah. They're going all over, but they just give you random numbers. And then people get this and then apply, and then they get wrong or can get sick. No. So very important for you to understand the individualization. So you need to individualize this information. So if he's 23, so that's good. We call young adult. Young adult amateur. So I assume he trains with you guys, right, Anna?
Yes, he does.
Good. So very good. So first, what you need to do, have a good school. American Top Team Fort Lauderdale, a great place to be. So that's the first. You gotta be affiliated to somebody that knows what they're doing. Don't go. Sometimes you go in a cheap gym, but then you get a cheap level of education, cheap level of training. Don't do that. You know, you can get hurt, and then that's something that you definitely don't want to do. So Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. And for 3-0 amateur, 23 years old, most important, you're still young. So when you don't achieve the pro level yet, very important for you to focus on technique, focus on skill. This is a problem I see here in the United States.
Yeah.
People focus too much on the strength and conditioning. Not that I don't like it, because this is my area, you know. Yeah. It's good for me. I have work, but we should focus more on the skill. Focus on technique. Focus on the training. So what you should do, see what you're not good at it. Maybe you train jiu-jitsu twice a week, and then you like blue belt.
Competition every day. I have some professional fighters, they do tell Master Junior, I have a lot, I'm so sore, I cannot move my arm. And Master Junior, oh, you're moving now, you know, MMA fighter, then you go do left weights, because how you gonna move here if you like, you know? Then that's what I want to know. What kind of, and how many times they need to do condition, because sometimes they don't understand that, you know?
Yes, I'm gonna get to their point next. So very important for you is to understand this. If you want to train one time, only one session a day, you want to do 3 days to 4 days of martial arts or any sport specific, and then 2 days of strength and conditioning will be enough if you only train one session a day. If you have the ability to train more, so sometimes you have, okay, Monday, Wednesday, I can do 2 sessions, morning and night. And then what do you need to try to do? The days that you train 2 sessions, you need to try to do your specific first. So your skill first. So that in this case, if it's jiu-jitsu, go train jiu-jitsu. If it's boxing, go train boxing. So you got to train your modality first. The second one will be strength and conditioning. Why? People usually do backwards. If you do backwards, there's a problem that you're going to get fatigue, that you can get depleted. So especially if you don't know how properly nutrition or training, you might get, for example, glycogen depletion. You train for like an hour and a half in the morning, strength and conditioning. When you go to your jiu-jitsu or your martial arts class, you have recovered. And then there's higher chance for you to get hurt or less chance for you to absorb all the knowledge that is going to be in the class. So make a priority to have the specific of your sport first, if it's possible. Okay. If it's not possible, then you alternate. So for example, Monday, I train just jiu-jitsu. Tuesday, I do strength and conditioning and other martial arts. If you don't have the chance to do the martial arts first, strength and conditioning after, you can do backwards, but make sure you recover. So what do you need to recover? Especially after workouts, you need to have some sort of carbohydrates and protein. That's very important.
The food, né? Come together.
Together. So now you think, oh, so then what should I have? If you're an adult, like this case, 23 years old, that's the time for you to have a sports supplement, because will make your life a little bit easier. Sometimes I have this discussion, nutritionists, sometimes they don't recommend. They say, no, you can have all your foods from normal nutrition. Yes and no. Because, for example, somebody that have a tight schedule that needs to go in the class, sometimes you guys have a class, what time in the morning, Anna?
Oh, we have 7 in the morning and we have 9 a.m.
So imagine, so you go to 7 a.m., right? And then you need to train for 1 hour and then you need to be at work 8:30. You don't have time to go home and cook. So that's a problem. So what do you need to do? That's the time that you bring your own fruit. For example, a banana will be a great fruit for that because it absorbs pretty quick. And then you could have a shake, maybe a little bit of protein, and then you combine or some sort of carbohydrate like a Gatorade and protein. So that would be good. And then you go to work. And then later, after maybe 3-4 hours, you have your lunch break. Then you try to have a normal, solid meal. Like we said, salad, good carbs, lean source of protein, good quality of fat. And then most important, water, hydration, because the training takes a lot of your hydration. So that's
the water is not. Then let me say, you think he between Monday to Sunday, how many times a week he does the condition? 3 times a week?
No more than 3.
Okay, got you.
2, no more than 3. Why? Because remember, if you're not pro yet, that means something you need to improve. So what do we need to do? Improve your skill. Improve your skill. You have more time, improve your skill. When you get to 35, 40, and then let's say you like us, black belt, and then you've been doing this for 20 years, and then you can say, okay, now I'm going to maintain my skill training maybe 3 days a week, and then I can train 3 days a week my strength and conditioning, or 4 times a week my strength and conditioning, because you're maintaining the skill. You're not learning the skill.
Yeah, no, makes some complete sense. And then for me, then I've been selling lifestyle, because that's what I sell, you know, for a lot of people. And then especially because I work in America Top Team for a long time, everybody walk it and come to me, I want to be an MMA fighter. Okay. Or I have to do this class. No, I just want to do MMA class. I say, I'm sorry. MMA, you have to do everything. That's mean you have to train jiu-jitsu, you have to do submission grappling, you have to do Muay Thai, you have to do boxing. It's a complement for everything before you jump into MMA, you know. Oh, but I'm very strong. I know, but you have to do the technique. Then thank you so much. That's perfect. And I hope we got his question answered, and I will send for him all the information. Let's move for the another one, Dr. Stefane. The another one is specific for kids. Né? I don't know, because now you live in Orlando, sometimes we don't have so much time to talk about everything. But Fort Lauderdale right now, we've been very strong in kids class. Né? We have a class for kids of 3 years old to older, you know. Then it's not just because we know, especially living here in USA right now, 14 years, how is important the kids be involved with the sports, you know, not just education, just also the social life. For me, super important, you know, they learning to be a competitor kids, but in a good environment, you know, then you make like a good group, the people, I say, né? Then I'm super happy and super proud of all the kids we've been having, the family supporting this, né? Then the other question I have, it's a mother. She does have 2 kids, and then both kids very competitive, you know. Then I know my kids do competition too, and of course sometimes I even call you and I bother you, Stephanie, what I do now? You think that's safe? Because in the end of the day, especially for me, my husband, it's not about to win and lose right now. It's about to them understand, like right now, go through the situation is a hard moment. What I think make us strong right now, in my opinion, is because we never quit. We are martial arts. Then doesn't matter what we're gonna fight for. And I think that's what helped a lot of the parents put the kids in martial arts. Mm-hmm. Then her question is, her 2 kids, they do a lot of competition. And you know, sometimes in jiu-jitsu, they just travel first to Pan-American, and her son, specifically her son, he's very skinny. And then
how old is he?
7 years old. He's 7 years old. You know, and then sometimes he's like in the middle, the division, you know, not the division up and the division under. And then
boy or girl?
Boy, he's a boy, 7 years old. He trained since 3. And then she asked me, sometimes she got confused. She go to Master Junior and ask, you know, hey, Master Junior, what does she do? And then sometimes say the division is 69 pounds or 79 pounds, né?
Right. 69 pounds,
and
79 pounds.
79 pounds. That's sometimes between, depending the competition he does, it's always 10 pounds different, né?
And then how much does he weigh?
Então, he always between the both, you know, that's what we should tell, because...
So it's kind of like in the 74, maybe?
Yes, that's what she's saying, you know? Sometimes that's what she says. Sometimes, you know how kid it is, né? She even mentioned to me, sometimes he wake up and Friday, he goes sleep on the day Friday, and he have 72, 71. And then when coming after Sunday, he go have him 74. And it's like, Anna, you know, sometimes it's such a different, and I'm worried about what you know, to do it. And
it's okay.
The question for her is, what you recommend safe for a kid to cut weight to do a competition? What's a safe, you know?
Very good. So the first thing, this boy, 7 years old. How old is the other boy, the other kid?
No, it's another one is a daughter. She's 9. But she have to say she generally she never have her daughter cut weight. She did a couple times, never have a problem. But she want to know health wise what's the recommend what's allowed to him to, you know, to cut the weight.
Yeah, if the boy is in the middle range, I would not recommend to cut weight. Okay, so the first thing, why? Because the boy is 7. You got to remember this. This is imagine all those years that I studied in Russia, like more than like 12, 13 years studying and following like Olympic athletes, and then have several professors there, coach Olympic national teams in different sports for years. And then what happened at 7, he's very little. So what do we need to focus on? Focus on skill. Very similar to what I told to the boy, the immature boy. Focus on the skill. So put this kid in the classes with Master Junior, all the classes that he can train, and then let him be kid, let him have fun, and then don't worry about cut weight. Why? Because he's in the middle range. If this kid had, right now, let's say the category is from 69 to 79. If he was in the 70 or or 69 pounds, I would say, okay, it's not a big deal just to drop 1 pound and put him in the lower division. But anytime you in the middle range, so you should stay in the middle range.
Okay.
Don't force. Why? Because this kid will grow. Especially for kids, when they're growing, every time you start making them cut weight, is a little bit of kind of like a suffering in their system, in their organism. For kids that are developing, remember, that's why you see this fluctuation that she mentioned. That's normal because you train, you lose glycogen from your muscles, from your liver, you lose water that's related to the glycogen content. You have some dehydration. So when you give the kid 1-2 days at home, feed the kid grow and then go down and then go up and then go down. And then that's part of the deal. No problem. So for him, focus on the skill. Try to feed him nice. And then what I recommend, once he's 7 and he's growing, the category go all the way to 79, feed him and then try to bring him up to close to the end of the division. And then that would be the best approach. Then drop him weight. And then another thing, I know, of course, sometimes the parents want to put
something. I remember something. I remember one time, now when we talk, and I remember one time George is fighting the Pan-Americano last year when he win the division. We kind of this problem, I think George is 2 pounds over the division we sign up. And then we kind of like, it's the deadline to move him for the half division. And I ask you, and you say something about the percentage, and it's just health. In how many percent you told me, because that's something that I put in my head right now and like, okay, let me see how many percents you have to do it. Dr. Stefane told me that's health, that's not health, you know?
Yeah. So if you go by percentage, it's kind of like this. Every time you lose, and then this is later we can do another live just to talk about that, because then I can talk like a lot about this topic. But there's a recent article that I read maybe about, I believe no more than a year ago, in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning. And then they evaluated all the athletes that cut weight. And then kind of like they back up the ideas that I have with my experience, that every time you drop 1-2% doesn't have too much of an influence. Okay.
2 or 3%.
1 to 2. 1 to 2.
1 to 2. 1 to 2. Okay.
Especially if you have a little bit of time to recover. So for example, if you have the weight-in is going to be maybe like, let's say 9 a.m. The competition is going to be at 10. So you still have a little bit of time.
Like jiu-jitsu, we don't have this. Usually jiu-jitsu, you make the weight and you fight. Different than judo. You fight, you make the weight 1 day before. That's different. MMA, you know, all this kind of.
So very good. So for judo, jiu-jitsu, anything that has the competition right after the weight-in, you don't want to lose more than 1%. The maximum will be 2.
Okay.
That's very close. But then later I can make it this live and then I go over all those data. Now I'm remembering on the top of my head. Now, every time you drop more than 2%, they already analyze that you have a drop in performance. So the closer this drop is from the competition, the harder in the body. So that means if you drop in the last hour, your body's going to feel more. If you drop in the last day, understand? If you drop this, the kid is, you drop Monday, the kids feel good, adapt, and then maintain that the whole week without suffering too much, no problem. Okay. So then 1 to 2% will be kind of like the number for her. So let's go a little math here. The kid's 74 pounds. So we're talking about 74 times 0.01. That's 0.74 times 2. So from 0.7 to 1.5 pounds. Okay. So like I said, see, if this kid was in the 70, we could drop him to 68 and put in the category below.
Okay.
The lower category. Now he weighs 74. He's in the middle to the top end of the bracket of the category. So it's better just feed him, let him go.
You go. Okay, yeah.
1-2%.
But for sure, we have to do another live this, because I know they already have people here mention something about, okay, talk the percent for adults. But if the guy is very fat and it's far away from the competition, then of course people's like already blah, 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 blah. But guys, just remember, we focus here a specific kid, 7 years old, and we can have a live with Stefane Dias, and he go over about this cut weights, because this is a lot of different information. You know, it's very
give
different.
Give it 2 weeks. We do another live. And
just
then
that we cut.
And I'll talk all about that for you.
You know?
Wow, give you all the ideas. The percentage and everything, the safe and what's better. Just one thing that you should know, every time you cut more than 6% of your body weight, especially in dehydration, that means in water, not losing fat. I'm going to go over this next slide. You're at risk of death. Okay, so 6%. So remember this number. So, so every time you pass 6% in dehydration, risk of death. And then when you go to 10% of your body weight in dehydration, then you're definitely at risk. This is according to American College of Sports Medicine.
That's super important to know, you know, especially.
Yeah, don't go crazy on that. Okay? Yeah. And then just for you guys to know, I used to work with Gleison Tibau for years from UFC. And we have a record, and then we cut more than 30 pounds and put back 35 pounds in 24 hours. Understand? Wow. We have that, but that's not what you should do. That's sometimes what is required to do, because you have a contract, have money involved. Yes. This is a big deal, but then in the professional level. So
yes,
you know how to do, is just we don't recommend it.
Yes. And I know you have a surprise for us about the exercise. That's what I want to jump in right now. And you mentioned something, you're going to share some information for us about the exercise. Yeah. Because we already talk about food, we talk about this, but the exercise, continue
exercise is very important.
Doesn't matter what, how long take, a week, a month, 2 months, the gym is going to be open and we'll be stronger than before. We learn a lot in this process now.
So very important here, especially
like, in the middle.
Yes. And look at this. Now there's two things: exercise to keep you in shape, exercise to improve your health or maintain. Okay. So then this article that I'm going to be talking about, it's from January 2020. So like very fresh, 2 months ago, published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, one of the biggest authority in the country. And then the topics: continuous moderate intensity, but not high intensity interval training. Improves immune function, because this is a topic that's very actual. Why? Because all this coronavirus. So at the same time, you want to keep improving or maintain your gains. You don't want to get sick. So what you should do, you should focus on exercises that will boost your immune system, not diminish your immune system, because then you can definitely get sick.
Say one more time. I got confused. I got lost on this one. It's important to maintain, but it cannot be put the immune system down, correct?
Down, yes. So then that's what we're going to talk about. So for you to maintain, but not bring your immune system, put your immune system down. So what did they do? They did two groups, and then adults go very similar to your amateur fighter from age 18 to 20. They divided those groups, and then one group did moderate continuous activity, cardio, and then the other one did high intensity interval training. That's very famous right now.
They do evaluation like a family. Mm-hmm.
And then they did that for 9 weeks. So it's pretty long, pretty good. They did that for 9 weeks. They did blood work of everybody before, blood work everybody after, both groups. And then they compared the level of cardiorespiratory fitness, hematological parameters. And then what happened? They saw that one group trained, just to give you kind of like a little idea how they train. They train in a track, but now how you can do this in the house? So you think, oh, I'm in the house. Okay, so let's say you have a treadmill in your house. A lot of people, they do.
So they did. Annie's on life, and she does have, and she make the girls do.
Okay. So you have a treadmill. So they train 3 days per week. 3 days. See what I said before? Mm-hmm. How many? 2 to 3 days of training. So they did 3 days per week. How did they train? Both groups train 3 days. One group did 75% of their maximum capacity related to their VO2 max. So 75% of their max. The other group did high intensity interval training. They train at their max for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. Okay. Mm-hmm. So then they it's pretty long. Here's like eight-page article. But then just to summarize, so they compare going all out. So when you go high intensity training, you go all out for 30 seconds. And then you did active recovery for 30 seconds. And then the other group just maintain 75% and then train for the whole time at that pace. What happened here? Very important. The group that trained with moderate intensity, they were able to improve their immune system. So they
really,
improved.
To be honest, yes. When I start talking, I think it's gonna be opposite. I'm like, oh my God, I got super tired. Mm-hmm.
Yes, me too. That's why it's very good. January 2020, very good in the Journal National Strength and Conditioning Research. So then look, they had, and not only that, they did blood work, and then they were able to identify that leukocytes, lymphocytes, neutrophil, monocyte, everything that relates to the white blood cells that fight all the diseases, the sickness, and everything got up. So moderate. And then there's several here. I can discuss this for a long time. Mm-hmm. But we need to extrapolate. So don't take this information. Sometimes people read an abstract and then you think you have an idea. Oh, so that means moderate is better than high intensity interval training. No, it's not what I'm saying. High intensity interval training is more effective for performance. So that's why we use so much. Understand that? That's why we train our athletes like that. But in the same way, it's more severe in your body. And then in this case, they did for 9 weeks. So there's a lot of details that I can talk about here. So if you implemented maybe a periodization program that you did a couple weeks and then took a little break, and then a couple weeks and took a little break, most likely their immune system will be okay or good. But once they did it non-stop for those 9 weeks, then they got an immune system down. Okay, wow. So then how we extrapolate this for your routine now in the house. You lock in the house. If you have a treadmill, you don't need to do every single day. No, there's a big chance for you to get overused, not even overtraining. That's the whole immune system down and you get sick. But overused, that means your ankle, your knees, your joints are being used, no recover. Then
this is for Renato is being running every day too. Renato is being running every day. And I told him, then it's not, because I don't want to lose my cardio for jiu-jitsu. That's the problem. That's why he's losing his hair. That's why he's losing his hair.
I have a solution for you. So what do? I understand that. You need to maintain your conditioning. So change the mode of the exercises. One day you do treadmill. The next day you do, for example, bicycle, stationary bike in your house. The other day,
but we haven't been putting a lot of workouts home too for them. They can use it there, like sit down, sit ups, push ups.
Yes.
Go to YouTube channel, guys. Coach Bruno, Coach Zé. They've been doing hard homework for you guys. Coach Luke has been doing a lot of drills from jiu-jitsu to home. Then go watch the video, do your homework, please.
Those drills, they're very good because that will maintain your muscular endurance. Muscular endurance, your capacity to do something that's not maximum, but for overextended amount of time. So you'll be able to repeat. So those repetitions, those drills are very important. That will be enough to maintain your specificity. So combine those drills with some aerobic activity. And then plus, very important that we're going to discuss in the next slide, resistance training exercises. So you need to do some resistance training. Why I recommend for you guys, do body weight, because then you don't need any equipment. Mm-hmm. And then you can also use elastic bands. So elastic bands is also good. So the next slide, I want to actually demonstrate some exercises.
That's nice.
And then how you do. Is that okay, Anna?
That's amazing. Let's do that. We got to keep people busy and do it. Because even like talking, if you guys understand, I don't know if you guys can see, making happen. because
because
I can have coach Dr. Stefane just talk with us for 3 hours. But if you guys turn the computer, sit down and go to your TV, or sit down and go wait to bag the chips, that's not gonna work. And then unfortunately, we cannot do for you guys. You guys have to change your lifestyle and don't lose what you guys making all these years in the gym. You know, that's
very important. Stay busy. Do those drills, watch those videos that they have with those drills. You can practice with your wife, with your daughter, by yourself. There's several drills that you do by yourself. So do the drills. Make sure you get some repetition. Very important. If you have any sort of cardio equipment in your house, treadmill or bike, or if you don't have a jump rope, very simple, you know.
Yeah.
Just jump rope. And then you do like in this format that you work, rest, but very important. Don't go all out, especially if your immune system is not really strong, especially for this time that we're fighting this disease, okay? So that's not the time that you want to kill yourself, because then the next day you might go to the gas station, you might go to the grocery stores, and then you end up getting sick.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So it's
good question. If they got sick, that's a good question. That's the last one because we already passed first time. But say if the process they do work out, they start to have a headache or fever, what do you recommend, in your opinion? Should do a little bit or don't cut out the exercise?
No, the exercise, you never cut. It's not good to cut. What do? You reduce the intensity.
That's
why?
fair.
Because there's always some stimulus, and then we have some glands that produce hormones. And then that's why some sort of strength training is good. We're going to go that next slide, because help you release more testosterone, natural growth hormone. And then that help also with the immune system. So you make your immune system stronger. Also help you fight those diseases. So don't completely get sedentary, because that's going to be worse. And not only that, you might have some psychological problems now, because you're already not in the routine that you're going to work every day. Now you're not going to the gym, and then you're not exercising, and then you're going to really get sick. So that
makes sense.
It's going to aggravate the stress. So you have more stressors. And then not only that, you're going to have a psychological stress that's being proved that gets diminished every time you do exercise, because you concentrate in a different activity. Okay? So just to prove that real quick before we finish this live, and I want everybody just to close your eyes if you listen to this live, and then put your hands together, and then kind of like go like one arm you're pushing down, and then you do this in the same time. And one arm you push, you go like a grip, okay, like a jiu-jitsu grip, and then you go one arm you push down, one arm you push up.
Press.
Yeah, so one against each other, but close your eyes, and then squeeze it very hard, one up, one down, for like 10 seconds. I'll go count. Very hard, very hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Time. Good. Okay. What did you think during this countdown, this 10 seconds?
Oh my God, a lot of things. Because you know how afraid I am. And I'm like, I was thinking.
What was going on in your mind?
I'm thinking about all us life right now, and so much information, Stefan, you give it to us. And it's funny because we're friends, but in the real time, when we barbecue or with the kids, we never talk about this, you know? And then, to be honest, I'm very emotional right now to see. I already know you kind of nerd, we call, like a lot of smart, because in the routine, you see Stephanie like with a bike and blah, blah, blah. You don't realize how he so much information you give it today, and how smart, and I know how you read.
Yeah, people don't know I have 6 books published, you know, one coming to the United States, and it's going to help us distribute this. This is a huge process. This is one of the largest publishers in the world. I'm not going to say yet because of the process, but it's a big deal. So we're very happy about it. Anna, very important thing about this exercise that we did, most important. If you try now, and then you're going to see, just try to squeeze very hard and think. The last thing you're going to think is about getting sick or corona. No, because you're so concentrated in the activities that you release. So that's why the exercise gives you mental relaxation. So that's why when you're doing like a jiu-jitsu drill, and then you finish, you go home, you're like, wow, this is good. I mean, maybe you work 10 hours and then you're very, very tired, very stressed, but then you go to the gym and then you leave happy. Why? Because your brain, and then that's related to the MRI and CAT scan. And then this is in Russia. My professor did this type of research. Send signal when you stress on a situation like this, virus, corona, lose of job, your brain fire all over the place. But when you concentrate, when you squeeze, when you do hard, when you do like a drill, like a sweep, like a movement, you only focus on the motor cortex. That means the other areas of your brain get a little bit of break. So if you do that for the whole session, 40 minutes, 1 hour, you have a break mentally and then you feel refreshed. So that's why some people go and they do jiu-jitsu in the morning and then before they go to work and then they work fine.
Fine. Yeah, that's amazing.
Right?
That's amazing. That's so you got me surprised in the end of this train. Let's do this more offer and give this service for everybody who needs right now. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciated that. Okay. And then guys, send me all the information later what you guys think. I know I have some questions here, and then I'm sorry, but it's not time to go over with everything now, but I'm sure if Stéfane can, we're gonna go over some more. Okay. Last
message here. Everybody, make sure you feed your community. Okay, so if you have a gym membership, keep paying a gym. I have 3 gym memberships. I keep paying. I'm not going anywhere. But I pay. Why? Because that helps. Because those are the guys that are there for you. It's not like a big corporation they can handle. And then we like a small business.